Hello, everybody. Just getting myself comfortable for today's session. I'm a little bit low, aren't I? Let me just move that a little bit. So we're going to wait just for a minute or two to see, just make sure everyone's had the chance to join from wherever they are and whatever they're doing today. So let's just take a moment to settle in however you'd like to. Perhaps finding a comfortable posture, a quiet space to sit. Maybe just taking a moment to pause. I don't know what activities or tasks that you've come to this session today from. But I think it's nice just to take the opportunity to have a moment in between different tasks. Just let our brains take their time to shift between things that they're doing or thinking about. Yeah, just allowing ourselves a moment to settle. So today I'm going to be with you for around 15 minutes. We're going to have a little bit of a chat through a topic that links in with mindfulness, and then we're going to do a short mindfulness practice together, probably around 7 or 8 minutes in length. So that's the plan for this session today. Okay, so I'm going to make a start. The topic I wanted to talk about today is red brain, green brain. So this is something that was a concept that was put together by a gentleman called Rick Hanson. Great follow on social media and on his newsletter. And it's about the fact that our brain can be in two different states. It's a model. It's a bit of an oversimplification in some ways, but I think it's a very helpful one. We can be in a state of red brain, which is maybe in a state of alert or anger or anxiety or overwhelm, where our brain is very busy. It's trying to sort of think or problem solve, or maybe it's a little bit in threat mode, a little bit worried, angry, upset, or frustrated by things. So, and that's a state that we can often be in these days with work pressures, life pressures, with the 24-hour news cycle, with the state of the world currently. And the other state in this model that our brain can be in is called green brain. So this is when our brain is got a generally kind of lower activity level. We've not got those kind of big emotions going around in our brain so much. And we're in generally a bit of a calmer state. And when we're in that calmer state, we're able to be a little bit kinder, more compassionate to ourselves and others. And yeah, it enables us to think a little bit more clearly, take a pause, maybe just be a bit more engaged in what we're doing at that moment, that activity or that task. And we're just in our brain activity is in a bit of a calmer state. So the areas of our brain that are maybe, reacting or making us feel stressed or angry are calmer. And the areas of our brain that are calmer, fulfilling states are more activated. So one of the things that mindfulness can help us do is to move ourselves gently, kindly from red brain into green brain. And also over time, I've found, and the research demonstrates really well, that it can also help us notice sooner when we're starting to get into red brain state and do something about that. So, really, really useful to do mindfulness practice for these reasons. So, on that note, let's give a short practice a go. So, around 7 or 8 minutes of time to practice together today. And first of all, let's just check in with what position or posture we're going to be in for that practice. So, if you choose to be sat down, ideally on a more supportive chair, not like a really kind of comfortable, soft sofa, but a chair more like a dining chair, perhaps, where your back is going to have some good support. You're a little bit more upright, not too slumped. And if you can, and if it feels comfortable for you, with your feet on the floor. But you can also do this practice standing or lying down, either flat on your back, or if you get a bit of uncomfortable sensations in your lower back, it might be more comfortable to be lying on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the surface below you, either the floor or the bed, perhaps. So take a moment just to find and adjust and get comfortable in your chosen position for today. If it's cool, maybe getting a blanket just to make sure you don't get too cold. We're just going to take a moment to settle in and relax in to that position that we find ourselves in now. So really letting our body sink into the surface beneath us. That might be our backs, our sit bones, the backs of our thighs, if we're lying down, the backs of our head, our feet or heels. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, maybe give that a go. If not, just lowering your gaze perhaps works very well. So we're going to investigate some of the areas where we are making contact with the ground or with the surface beneath us today. Starting with the sensations in our feet. So you might feel that there are the soles of your feet gently pressing into the ground. If you're sat on your chair or if you're lying with your knees bent. If you're lying flat on your back, it might be the backs of your heels. So just an invitation to draw your attention to that part of your body, that sensation of the areas of your feet that are making contact with the surface beneath you. Feeling into those feet. Maybe there's different areas of pressure, a slight difference between left foot and right foot. Maybe you can also notice other areas of your feet or other sensations in your feet. Maybe warm or cool. Perhaps the sensation of the socks that you're wearing. Or if you've got bare feet, the feeling of the texture of the floor or the surface beneath your feet. We're really just trying to feel into the experiences, the sensations that we can feel in our feet right here, right now. And thoughts will likely be arriving in your brain. And we don't want to try and push them away dramatically. We just want to maybe kindly acknowledge the thoughts that arrive and then let them drift back out again. You can perhaps see those thoughts like clouds in the sky. They come in and we can just let them drift through. We don't have to kind of grab at them or get involved with them or start telling ourselves a story. Another lovely one is watching those thoughts like leaves floating down a stream or trains going through a station. We don't have to get on the train. We can just watch it arrive and watch it leave again. And every time we notice that thought, that's a brilliant success. We've noticed it and we just gently, kindly let it carry on its way. Gently bringing our attention back to our feet. So we're just going to gently shift our attention now to the aspects of our body that are making more noticeable contact with the surface beneath us. So if you're sitting, that might be your sit bones, the backs of your thighs and buttocks. If you're lying down, that might also be your buttocks. It might be the back of your rib cage or the back of your head. And again, just really tuning in to the heaviness of our bodies into the surface beneath us. And perhaps the gentle sensation of that surface supporting us, holding us where we are at the moment. Just any thoughts that might creep into our brains, letting them go, gently, kindly bringing our attention back to the feeling of our bodies sinking into those surfaces beneath us. Noticing the real depth of sensation around what that feels like. You might start to notice that the sensation is not the same all the time. Things change and shift slightly in our bodies all the time. Particularly around the backs of our rib cages. If you're leaning into the back of a chair or if you're lying down at the moment, you might just notice there's a gentle swell in the back of that rib cage as you breathe in and out. Perhaps the sensation of our backs against the surface they're up against changes with each breath. When we just gently, kindly bring our attention to these little nuances, things that are subtle that we don't necessarily notice as we go through each day. There's often more going on than we think. And it could be a very grounding, calming practice just to gently pay attention to these little things, the things that are going on all the time in our bodies. Feeling that sense of our bodies sinking into those surfaces beneath us and the changing sensations as that happens. So over the next minute or so, we're just going to gently bring this practice to a close. So if you'd like to, maybe bringing a little movement into the body, shifting your weight, perhaps wriggling your fingers and toes, having a little stretch, bringing some movement in, however feels best for you. And whenever you're ready, gently opening your eyes or lifting your gaze. It's been so lovely to practice with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm planning more of these events, free events every month, longer events, perhaps every week or so, courses. So please do head over to my website, greenmountains.co.uk, to find out more. Wishing you a lovely rest of the day.